back to the show, everybody. Now, who doesn't love chicks and football? I know everybody here does. And we have the Texans chick, Stephanie, with Craig.
Hey, everybody. I'm with my favorite football expert, Stacie, who is the Texans chick and the ultimate Texan fan, as voted by millions in 2006. Stephanie's been on the radio with us before, and I wanted to make sure you met her on television. And we're glad you're here.
Glad to be here.
Now, you know, there's that misconception that the ladies don't necessarily know that much about football. You, on the other hand, I have to prepare the night before when I talk to her. Give me your game plan to beat the Colts this Sunday.
Well, I think that the obvious game plan is the one that everybody knows. It's time of possession, keeping Peyton Manning off the field. Last year, he could pretty much move the ball at will. I think they stopped him the time that they got a fumble. But ultimately, you want to keep Peyton Manning off the field and shoot clock and, you know, make it a game into the fourth quarter.
There you have it. There's your complete game plan. Now, how did you get to become such a football expert? You are a graduate of UT, and you're a lawyer.
I've always been a football fan. My grandmother was a big football fan. My mom is. And it's just something that I paid attention to. And when the Oilers left town, I was more heartbroken than any, breakup. And I think Houstonians either responded to that by not paying attention to football anymore, or when the team came back, and we got a team in Houston, they got a little enthusiastic about that team, and I'm in that group of people.
Well, you're certainly not shy when you're at the game, and I know you are the ultimate also tailgater. What is the plan for this Sunday, the game plan in the STRADLEY household?
Well, the first thing we do is we have to put our deep steel blue on, because Texans are marketing this as Deep Steel Blue Sunday. And I'm just going to show up early, have fun at the tailgates, and get in my seat early and be loud when I'm supposed to be.
Are you one of those fans that stands up and said, "What are they doing in cover 2?" I mean, you know your stuff. I agree with you, keeping Peyton off the field. I say you keep him off the plane. You stop in Indianapolis. Don't even let him come down here.
That would work. I think one of the best things that the Texans have going for them is that I'm not sure that the Colts defense likes playing against big backs. You know, in facing the Titans last week, Lindell White had a lot more success than Brown did. And, you know, we got our big backs. I don't think that backs come much bigger than Ron Dane. And, you know, Amon Green has shown a lot of zip that a lot of people have been surprised about. That he's showing that he still has a lot left.
And, of course, you have your Matt Schaub number 8 on. You must be pleased after 2 weeks.
I mean, I have to say, I had high expectations for the Texans, but that win against the Panthers was really impressive. I don't care, whether the Panthers are good or bad. Being able to come back on the road against, a decent team, the way that they did it was extremely impressive.
Let's get ahead of ourselves, and I shouldn't do this, but what if these guys are 3-0? And let's face it, this is the biggest game in the NFL this week.
Yeah, I've already had a lot of emails from national people asking me about the Texans, and this is the game that a lot of people are going to be watching. It'd be better if Andre Johnson was likely to play.
Right.
But Andre had 4 receptions in the last game against the Colts, and really the game plan that game was just to run the ball. I think the Texans have a little bit more options now with the passing game. They kind of shut down the passing game at the end of the season last year because Carr looked pretty bad after the Raiders game, and I'm not sure that there's some gossip out there that he might have had an undiagnosed concussion, or at least a non-disclosed concussion after the Raiders game. And they didn't have a backup at the time because Sage Rosenfeld was injured. So they basically said we can't rely on Carr, we can't rely on this line that's coming together. We're just going to run the ball, and that's what they did at the end of the year.
I think a lot of people think we're talking false optimism here, but it's fun because we haven't dealt with this before as Texans fans.
Well, I think that if you're just looking at it trying to be objective, the Texans' first team looked really good all throughout the preseason. They handled the Dallas Cowboys. You couldn't have a much better performance. And they've looked good on both on the road and at home. So, if you're looking at the quality wins of the 2-0 teams, out of all the 2-0 teams, the best quality wins have been the Patriots and the Texans. And that's just looking at it straight up.
And there's another 2-0 matchup, the Niners at Pittsburgh, but it's not an interdivisional game. And Stacie is over there. Stephanie is right here. Stephanie and I will be back later in the month to discuss tort reform, but that's another